into the Writers Roundtable. I'm Taylor Stern, joined by Dave Hellman, Rob Phillips, and Nick Eatman. Guys, it's an exciting time for the Dallas Cowboys right now as they're getting ready for free agency to begin this week. But you know, Nick, we're talking about what can happen right away. What do you think the team is going to do in the first few days of free agency?
Say goodbye to people, probably. Unfortunately, yeah, you're talking about being exciting. I don't know if the fans are going to be that excited.
I don't know if this counts as an exciting time.
Well, just because they really don't have a lot of money to do things with the free agents. Now, remember, they've got a lot of great players on this team, but the guys that they're going to sign to long-term deals, guys they've already signed, so they're thinking in the future here. But as far as some of these next few days, it's going to be hard to think that they're going to keep some of these players. If I had to say, maybe one guy, I'd say maybe Brandon Carr would be the best case scenario there.
Yeah, and maybe exciting was the wrong word, but I was saying, hey, everyone's had questions about this basically since the season has ended. So, you know, Rob, what kind of questions will be answered this week?
Well, we'll have to see, Tay. I mean, I think they're going to try to see what the market dictates for a lot of these guys. And you know, Dave and I were on the visit with Jerry Jones and at the Combine in Indianapolis last week. He didn't want to say specifically which two positions they really needed to address, but he said there's two that they need to make sure they're covered in some way, whether they're bringing back somebody or they're signing a replacement. And when you look at what their roster looks like, I think one position's got to be cornerback. Nick mentioned Brandon Carr. You got Mo Claiborne set for unrestricted free agency, and then beyond that, under contract, you've got Orlando Scandrick and the rookie Anthony Brown. They're facing a lot of good quarterbacks on the schedule in 2017. They've got to figure out that position somehow.
I actually went back. I've been working on something about this week, and I went back and looked. And the way this has gone, really the whole time that I've been covering this team, is the first week is really about watching Cowboys free agents go somewhere else. Barry Church, Mo Claiborne, Ron Leary, Terrence Williams, all great candidates, I think, to be holding another team's jersey by the end of this week. Obviously can't predict the future to a certainty, but that's what I would guess. And then really the trend is that when that second, third week comes in, that's when the Cowboys start re-signing their guys who take visits and maybe decide to wind up back here. Remember Lance Dunbar, Jack Crawford were guys that did that last year. So I would be honestly pretty surprised if anything crazy happens in regard to the Cowboys in the first, 3 to 5 days. It's that second week of free agency where they kind of find their value. It's not very exciting, but that's the model that they've chosen to use.
Nick, you guys do a lot of great stuff on the site throughout the entire free agency process because a lot of people just focus on this week. That's kind of what we're talking about right now. But it will take a long time. It will probably be up until the draft, if not a little bit after. What can people expect on the site to kind of follow everything with free agency?
Well, I mean, like we said about guys that are going to be coming in, going, and probably more going, and so we'll have we'll track that with everybody and kind of what they're doing when it comes to visits or signing, and we'll kind of reflect as well. We'll do that this week with some of the best free agents that they've had, and then there's a big elephant in the room here that we're not really talking about.
What is that? I'm confused what you're talking about.
And Tony, we'll see what happens with him. It doesn't seem like he will be back, but there's people that have their opinions on that, and Jerry's not going to say. You guys were there. You guys got the vibe from Jerry. What were you thinking there with Tony?
Go ahead.
I think you're right. I don't think he's back, but Jerry Jones loves Tony Romo. He thinks there's a chance. He wouldn't rule anything out. He said they talked about every single possible option, from trade to release to staying here to maybe retirement, whatever. It's all on the table, and honestly, I think it's anybody's guess, including Jerry Jones and Tony Romo, to be honest.
And we talked about cap room, guys, and they don't have a lot of it. If he's not on the roster, however that would shake out, you can create some room that way, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be back. Dave said the door isn't shut on him coming back, according to Jerry Jones. They could do some restructures, Tay, some other things. They restructured Travis Frederick, Tyron Smith. Those are types of moves you can make to create a little room, and they're going to need some room at some point because in addition to free agency, you've got your rookie class to sign eventually. You need a little wiggle room always under the cap, so they've got to make some accounting moves at some point.
Sean Lee's a guy to watch. He's got a big contract they can work around. Could potentially do something with Jason Witten. He's got a year left on his deal. And then obviously Tony Romo, which, like I said, we'll see. But there's definitely things they can do. And they will need to over the next month to just free up space to work with. Right?
Free up space, get excited for free agency because, guys, they just brought a lot of news on you and a lot of knowledge that will all be hopefully answered by the draft time, and we'll get even more excited for new Cowboys to come because rookies are great, as we saw last year. So stay tuned to everything on DallasCowboys.com, and thank you so much for watching.